we got a big one here in the transfer portal. Florida State guard Tania Latson has made her move. She has officially transferred. She's officially committed to South Carolina to play for Dawn Staley, a decision that I greatly question. I greatly question it, and I greatly question it for a number of reasons. But this is a much bigger topic to unpack than a simple short video like I did today. We are going to go a lot deeper into this one because this has implications across the board to that roster. Let's talk about it. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Rudy's Rant, Her Game, Her Way, women's basketball, facts over feelings in the building. If you see the new shirt, facts over feelings, go get your merch. Go get your facts over feelings shirt in the merch shop. I appreciate you. Let's talk about this one because this is some crazy stuff. If you told me that Tania Latson, I don't know if it's Tania or Tania, if you told me that Latson would transfer to South Carolina of all schools, I would tell you you were absolutely crazy. There were so many other teams that I could have seen her going to, schools that I could have seen her going to, and none of them were South Carolina. I could have seen a fit at Notre Dame. I could have seen a fit at at TCU. I could have seen a fit at USC. I could have seen a fit at UCLA. I could have seen a fit. Those are the main ones. Those are probably the main ones. LSU, no, because they're just loaded at guard. It wouldn't have made sense. I could have seen a fit at Duke. So there were a number of schools. South Carolina was not one. I see the fit at UCLA because I got a big with a little, a scorer with a scorer. I got two elite level players that will fill the bucket. UCLA had problems, with their guard play and putting the ball in the basket. USC obviously has people coming out leaving, and Juju Watkins isn't going to play next year more than likely. TCU loses Haley Van Lith, although they picked up Olivia Miles. Olivia Miles is more of a point, and Latson's more of a scoring guard. That could be a great fit with them. I could have seen her fitting with Hannah Hidalgo at Notre Dame, two lightning quick guards who can fill the bucket. I mean, you're talking about two 25-point per game scorers that's hard to stop. I mean, guard play is killer when it comes to college basketball. And then, of course, Duke, coach like Kara Lawson, who is a great coach. They made it to the Elite Eight. They were right there. So, yeah, I could have seen a lot of spots. I did not see South Carolina. South Carolina is where guards go to die. South Carolina is a place where guards are not successful. Dawn Staley has made it very, very clear with how she coaches this team that the guards are not the focal point. The focal point are typically bigs, and this year they had no bigs, like legitimate bigs. So, but they also had no really great guard play. Again, but she's never been pushing guards. She's always been pushing the bigs. She's pushed the Aaliyah Bostons, the Camila Cardosos, the Asia Wilsons, and all that stuff. But she's never had one of these types of guards. I know Alicia Gray went to South Carolina as well. But Tania Latson is the best guard she would have ever had. The best guard she will have ever had at South Carolina. And the question is this: are you gonna let her from the movie? What's that movie? The other guys. Are you gonna let him be a peacock and fly like Mark Wahlberg? Even though I don't know if the peacocks can fly, and I have no idea. That was the joke of it. Is like peacock. Can peacocks fly? I don't know. Can peacocks fly?
They can jump.
They can jump. My wife just told me they can jump. They can't fly. So it's like, yeah, it's one of those things where it's a joke, but you gotta let her fly. You gotta let a star make mistakes. And does Dawn Staley allow that? Are you a 25-point per game scorer at Florida State, the number one scorer in the nation, and on a really good team actually, and then you move over to South Carolina and now you're averaging 17? How does that work? Like if she averages 25, that means you let her go. But if she averages 17, now she locked her down. Now, obviously for South Carolina, it's a huge pickup. But there's another.
They can fly.
Oh, they can fly. I was just corrected. They can fly, but 2% of their what?
Life. They don't like flying.
They don't like flying. Okay, they don't like to fly. They don't like to fly. So whatever. They don't like to fly. Now, The question now is this. MiLaysia Fulwiley, who I did a podcast on yesterday. Did a podcast on MiLaysia Fulwiley's attitude after losing the national championship. She was in her feelings. She made some statements that she probably might regret if she's going to stick around in South Carolina. I do think she should hit the transfer portal. I said it yesterday. I think she should hit the transfer portal. I did not say she was going to hit the transfer portal. For you dingbats in the comments that like to make up shit, I never said she was going to the portal. I said I think she should go to the portal. Even the title of my damn video says, "Is she portal bound?" With a question mark. It's called a question. For those of you who haven't passed 5th grade reading skills, you might want to go back to school. Yeah, I'm calling the ding-dings who know who they are, who put all kinds of stupid comments. I never said she was going to portal. I said I think she should go to the portal because her guard play regressed this year, number one, and number two, she's clearly not doing that great. And if she wants to have a WNBA career, she might want to look at other options. It doesn't matter how much she might love Dawn Staley. Doesn't matter how much her mama might love Dawn Staley. What matters is that she is in the best position possible to be on the court to be successful. Facts. She played less than 19 minutes per game, and she is the most talented guard they had on that team this year. That's utterly ridiculous and unacceptable. She was the second leading scorer on the team, despite only playing under 19 minutes per game, behind Joyce Edwards, who's also coming off of the bench. None of that shit makes any sense to me. How your two leading scorers come off the bench. But talent-wise, she is your most talented player. And yet she's embarrassed a lot, put on the bench, benched for mistakes. She turns it over. She gets benched. She does this. She gets benched. The whole year. I mean, there were games where she was benched, brutal games that MiLaysia Fulwiley had. And no, I don't think MiLaysia Fulwiley is the player that some people think she is. They think she's a superstar. I don't think she is. But I also don't think that she's trash. And she's looked like that a lot playing for South Carolina this past season. She's a player that's used to having the ball. Yet she's a backup to Raven Johnson, who I've voiced my opinion on. Not a good player. You all can tell me whatever you want to tell me. She's not a good player. 35% shooting from the field. You're not a good player. Sorry. You're not. Less than 5 points per game, point guard. Less than 3 assists, point guard. You're not very good. I don't care about my offensive rebounding from my point guard. That's the least of my concerns. And defensively, yeah, I think she's pretty decent, but there are people that are on my post who are saying that she's not very good defensively. So I don't know. I think from what I've seen, I think she's pretty good defensively. I don't want to hear about leadership. When you're playing 4-on-5 basketball on the offense, it's a problem. But now you bring in Tania Latson, the number one scorer in America. Number one in America. And you think that MiLaysia Fulwiley is going to play in front of her? If you think that, I'm going to bring you some sand and I'm going to sell it to you. I got sand on the beach to sell you because you will believe anything you are told. There is no way in hell that Tania Latson walks in there as a backup to MiLaysia Fulwiley. And I have a hard time believing that Dawn says is gonna run 3 guards that are all sub 5'10" on the court at the same time. Because Raven Johnson's like 5'8". MiLaysia Fulwiley is 5'10", and Tania Latson's 5'8". So that's a really, really small guard lineup. You're not running all 3. Tessa Johnson is still at South Carolina. She's going to go into her junior year. She plays ahead of, in terms of, she seems to play ahead of MiLaysia Fulwiley. But let me just confirm. Tessa Johnson played more minutes per game than MiLaysia Fulwiley this year, as did Tahina Paopao. I think Tahina Paopau's out of. I think she's out of eligibility. Yeah, she's out of eligibility, so she's done. But you got Raven Johnson, who played more minutes than Fulwiley, and she's 5'8". You're not running 2 5'8" guards and a 5'10" guard. Like, you're not doing that. That puts you in massive defensive issues. And I don't care how much Fulwiley might love Dawn Staley. I don't know if she does. She criticized the hell out of her after that game. She criticized her team. She criticized the coach. And she also said, I got to see what's best for me. And if you don't think that's writing on the wall for someone who's probably going to be leaving, maybe she changes her mind. This is the new world of college women's basketball, and maybe they give her a big enough paycheck to stick around. But there'll be plenty of schools that would hand her a big check. And for those of you who are saying, oh, she'll never leave the portal, they literally had the last game on Sunday. Today's Monday. Today's Tuesday. Today's Tuesday, late Tuesday night as I'm recording. She can still go into the portal. And again, maybe she doesn't. If she doesn't, then hey, you know what? I said it in the live tonight. If she doesn't, I salute her, because that tells me she's looking to fight through it. She's looking for the adversity. She wants to fight. She wants to battle. She wants to grind. I love it. I actually love it, because so many people are just so quick to leave and run away. And I'm only saying that I think she should go into the portal because I'm conditioned to this new generation of athlete that the second they have some level of adversity or someone offers them a bigger check, they leave. But I have a lot of respect if she says, I'm staying. Now, do I think that's for the betterment of her college basketball career? Maybe not, because Dawn Staley has shown much more trust and faith in Raven Johnson, despite the fact that Raven Johnson is an offensively inept player. And Tessa Johnson is coming back. And now you're bringing in Tania Latson. It will be shocking to me if she stays at South Carolina. But hey, like I said, if she does, I salute her. If she doesn't, I can't blame her. I don't think she's as good as people think she is, but I think she's pretty good. And I think she'd help a lot of teams. But I think in this current situation, mentally, she's checked out. Mentally, she's messed up. She needs a new start with someone who actually has some belief in her ability. Because this was an all-world high school player who probably had the ball in her hands all the time. And now at South Carolina, she doesn't have that freedom. Stars need freedom. You can't be a star without freedom. The player that has more turnovers than anybody in the history of the NBA is LeBron James. The player who had the most turnovers in the WNBA last year is Caitlin Clark. All-time record. We all know it. But she also brought them to the playoffs. And she also averaged 19.5 and 8.5 assists and set records. You got to let stars be stars. And if she is a star, you got to let her fly like the peacock. You let me know your thoughts in the comments. This is Rudy's Rant. Her way, her game. I keep mixing them up. That's the name of the women's section. Her game, her way. Women's basketball. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts. MiLaysia Fulwiley, if you stick around, I salute you. You don't? I don't blame you. And Tania Latson, I pray for you, because this is probably the one school I would never have gone to if I was you. Because you are a South Florida girl, and I want you to represent. And I hope that you get the ability to do so. Let me know your thoughts in the comments again. Come on now.